Thanks for joining me, everyone. In this video, I'd like to share with you the ships and tactics I used to be able to complete the mission tasks to get the epic mod Artillery Plotting Room 2. We're starting off with Iowa. I spawned over at C, and after obtaining C, I wanted to come down here and assist our DD because he was getting chased by Wichita. He gives up the broadside, we tag him for 2 citadels, and I can't tell you how many times through this mission I have left a ship with just a fraction of health for someone else to go ahead and snag the kill. But guess what? That's just a part of the game. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. But I am happy that our DD was able to get that cruiser that was chasing him. So we're going to go ahead and start getting turned around. Gneisenau over here, he's kind of looking a little low on health. We got Iowa. He's going to go ahead and start turning as well. And I'm just trying to see who I can catch broadside to go ahead and get those citadels. And we see Iowa. He is definitely going to give it all up for us. And we get our shot off. And he's going to turn right into it for us. Nice. Got a citadel. He's going to keep running over towards his buddy. Unfortunately, in Tier 7, I can't even explain it, honestly. It just leaves me speechless. You're going to get a lot of teams, either your team or the team you're fighting. They're going to fold. They're going to fold quick. Close battles seem to be a little bit less in the higher tiers. And we go ahead and finish him off with another citadel, and we get high cow. So Iowa is obviously a solid choice for citadels and kills. And if you got Georgia, another solid choice. You can see I'm over at A cap all by my lonesome. New Orleans gives up the broadside, and we send them right back to port. Another good choice is Alabama. And if you're wondering whether or not this ship is worth the global XP, it absolutely is. It's agile. It packs a solid punch, and it does feel a bit more accurate than Iowa. It is definitely 10 times more agile, so absolutely love this ship. And as you can see, we hold our shots. We don't want it to bounce. Wait till we get just enough of that broadside to send him back to port as well. Another solid choice to be able to work through these tasks is Kansas. It is a Tier 7 California, pretty much. Obviously not, I'm just being facetious, but just mean the way it plays. Guns, pack a punch, bit sluggish, great torpedo belt though, and you just can't go wrong with this. So let's get into a little bit more of tactics. You're going to have battles that are going to start off like this. Team is doing great, we get a good dev strike. We're going to go ahead and focus on him because he's pushing our cruiser. We get him taken out. And again, battle starts off fantastic. But then, for some reason, everybody just decides to melt. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about that. The best thing that you can do is get the kills, get the citadels, get the damage, and get at the top of the leaderboard. And running to the back of the map is just not going to get you any of those things accomplished. So I'm going to push. I see Maine. He's going to give up the broadside. I go back to port, and he goes back to port, but I get a dev strike. Yes, the team lost, but we got to the top of the leaderboard. Now, there are going to be tasks where you absolutely have to get the win. And yes, that is going to depend on your team. It's going to depend on you. Because you got to be able to read the map. You got to be able to make certain calls in order to pull off those wins. This is going to be a perfect example of that. So we're over here at C-Cap. Brandenburg is turning the corner, and we're going to go ahead and do everything we can to make sure he gets sent back to port. And there he goes. Our teammate got that situated. So we've won C, right? So look at the mini map. A and B are taken. If you see that there's 2 battleships over at A, and there's another battleship heading over that way, along with the cruiser who's heading all the way up towards the top of the map. And if you look at our team, they are heading all the way up that way. They're not heading towards B, they're not heading towards A. So I'm the only one over here. In order to make sure that we get that win, I need to push this side. Because again, look, they're all the way over there. The enemy's keeping them from pushing, and if I didn't come over this way and I start chipping away at these guys, we definitely would have lost. And as this continues to play out, I'll show you what I mean. Now I know I'm going to have a couple ships pop up over here on this side, so I'm going to use this front island to kind of buffer. Depending on which way they go, I can go around the island, I can use it as cover. But same token, I see Iowa, I see another enemy ship, and we want to go ahead and get those taken down as much as possible for our teammates. Now you can see, boop, Brandenburg pops up. I see him. I'm not worried about him right now. He's battle tanking. I've got 2 broadside battleships all the way over on that other side. We're trying to whittle them down and help our teammates out. So we're going to keep focusing on them, even though Brandenburg is obviously pushing. And I can see on the mini map, he's not going to go to the right of the island where I'm at. He's going to go to the left. So I just kind of push up a little bit. And as you can see from the shell hits, we're still going to go ahead and get, boop, 9,000 taken off. We want to chip them down as much as possible. So Brandenburg's got torpedoes. This is the other thing. You got to know your other battleships. You don't want to try to get into a brawling match, especially with German battleships, but definitely German battleships that have torpedoes. And as you can see, when he turned the corner, he dumped those torpedoes off. So he's going to come around, and he's thinking he's going to stay close. Luckily, our ally is shooting at him broadside. He's taking chips off of him. We just go ahead and wait. Let's go ahead and get a spotter plane up in the air, because I know there's a DD around here. Plus that spotter plane will at least help keep him spotted coming around the corner. We wait, clear the rocks. Boop! Back to port, bruh. So, I'm detected. This means I'm actually detected and located. That means the DD is over here. He's going to be right on the other side. But I see that again, broadside, I can get some shots off. Boop, there's Jervis, DD, he popped up. I'm not worried about him just yet. I want to still try to get these guys taken down as low as possible. I've got AP loaded. Let's go ahead and get those off and down range. Now, go ahead and swap over to HE, because we got Jervis turning the corner. We helped whittle down. There you go. He is down to almost nothing. Allies should be able to finish him off, and we're just waiting for this DD to turn the corner, because you know he's going to want to get me. And you see we're sitting at 2 defends, got a kill, 123k, and we're going to bring home this win. This is the kind of gameplay and tactics I mean in order to get yourself at the top of the leaderboard, in order to pull off those wins. Just playing smart. Wait for him to get around. We got HE loaded. Take a nice chunk off. We get Confederate, back turrets, Dev Strike, back to port, and we secure the win. So my choice for this epic mod is going to be AL New Jersey. The combination between this ship, that epic mod, and this commander, the damage potential is just insane. I can't wait to really have those games where all the stars have aligned, great RNG, decent team, right positioning, people just giving up broadside. I'm going to really be able to rack that up. So this is the very first battle out in this new ship. I definitely can't wait to really get this thing in there and get it going. But we're going to go ahead and skip ahead. We're at neighbors. Let's just jump ahead a little bit to where the battle has started. We see AL New Jersey. And we're going to go ahead and get some shots off. Now, I would like to address the fact that I've seen on social media and people commenting about the mod is trash, it's garbage, and it's just not worth it, yada, yada, yada. That is absolutely not correct. And here's the reason why. Yes, it sucks. I myself was pissed off when I heard that everything was getting nerfed. But the one thing that I can say is it got nerfed across the board. Everybody is on the same playing field. It didn't affect one particular ship, so it's a lot easier to swallow. So since everybody is on the same playing field, you having this particular mod on a ship that you play frequently, would be my suggestion, is going to give you more of an edge. So it definitely is not trash or not worth it. And especially since not everybody is going to be able to obtain these. We don't know when they're going to be coming out again. It's going to give you a little bit of an edge until everybody is going to get those. And as you can see, we're slightly angled, but not angled enough, and we give up a chunk of health. So AL New Jersey on the enemy side went ahead and made us really regret giving it up, right? So you shoot me, I shoot you, and you're going back to port, brother. We get those 2 citadels, and as you can see, improved main battery dispersion. Absolutely love it. Definitely not trash. But because I love it, let's go ahead and see another shot, but on a cruiser. And we're same map, spawned in the middle, and we're pushing. Here comes a cruiser coming out behind those rocks. Can't wait. And after this, we'll go ahead and get back to port, and I'll give you these suggestions as to how I would put this mod on each particular ship in order. And voila, back to port. Improved main battery dispersion. Absolutely love it. And let's go ahead and get back to port. Now that you've seen it in action, let's go ahead and get into the particulars. You are only going to be able to equip it in the 4th slot of your upgrades and modifications. Now, when you go into your available modifications, you'll see that the Artillery Plotting Room Mod 2, the base one gives you the 10% main battery dispersion. And when you go over to the Epic Artillery Plotting Room Mod 2, you get the 10% base main battery dispersion. But for every 2 citadels that you land, you get an additional 2% bump all the way up until it reaches max. Now, my suggestion is put this on the ship that you play the most and that is the most accurate. Because if you decide that you want to move it around, you have to uninstall it for 250 doubloons. If you do not uninstall this using doubloons, you will lose it. Because once you sell it for 2,500,000 credits, it is gone. You will not be able to get it back, and Wargaming, as of right now, is not crediting these back for accidental deletions. So it will be gone until you're able to obtain it on the next go around when they release it again. So again, don't sell it, uninstall it for 250 doubloons, and you get to keep it. Now, my recommendations for which ship should you put this on. AL New Jersey, as you see, is obviously my first choice, just because of the damage potential with this particular commander. But it is basically a reskinned Iowa, a little bit more accurate, and I gotta admit, it does feel a little less like Iowa, and it feels closer to the Alabama. Alabama would definitely be my next choice, very agile, very accurate. If you don't have Alabama and you have Massachusetts, same thing, agile and very accurate, but as you can see, mine is going to be a brawler build, so that's why I'm not going to go ahead and put it on this. Now, if you don't have any of those and you only have either Iowa or Kansas, you really can't go wrong with either or. If you're into the legendary, then obviously Montana is your go. But nevertheless, you really can't go wrong with putting that mod on any of them. Georgia, Alabama, Iowa, Kansas, Massachusetts, and Montana. They are all solid choices. I would recommend you put it on the ship that you play the most, that you get the best bang for your buck, you're most comfortable with. Because that way you're really going to get that mod to get maxed out and shine, especially you're only able to put it on one ship right now. So again, I hope all this information helps. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, stay frosty out there.